All right, we got 3 bell ringers up here. As far as I know, you all have 2 different methods that you use to do these, so I'm going to walk around and check how you do it. If you don't mind, decide which method you use just by the word. Some of y'all are still finishing up, but we'll go ahead with the first one, the first couple. So for this first one, see a lot of the same method used, and for some of y'all, you all used LCM, but so for number 1, if you do the TP method, which a bunch of you all used, what's your first step that you do?
You draw a line under it, then you make an X.
From where?
From the corner.
Here to
To the 1.
the 1 and
The 2 to the 2.
to the 2. All right. So now we have that done. What's the next step that we do?
Add multiplication.
Add and multiply. So what do we add and multiply?
You add your X on the side under the line.
So 2 times 5 is 10. And then what do we do with the other 3 numbers? So 5 times 1 is 5. And 2 times 2 is 4. And then when you add those together, you get 9. You all did an excellent job on that one. For the most part, everybody used this. What's the other method?
LCM.
LCM. How do you all work LCM out? We're going to rewrite this down here. What's the first step in doing LCM?
Like draw 2 lines and then addition sign like under.
2 lines? Where does the line go? You want to come with it? You don't have to.
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to? That's
I
okay.
just first step.
To find least common multiple, you would, does this look familiar?
Yeah.
You multiply this over here, and you take this number, and you multiply this number by it. And then, what is 2 times 5?
10.
10. And then, what would be the next step that y'all would do?
You put like times 5 on the 1, and then do the same thing. And then
Times 5, so that'd be 5, and then this one would be
4.
Yep. Y'all get the same answer. So most of y'all did the TP method on this one. Either one is fine. So good job on that one. On number 2, we got 2/3 plus 3/4. So which method would you like to use?
TP.
TP. What's the first step in doing the TP?
You draw a line underneath, like
3 to 4, and then where's the other 2 lines go? 4 to 2 and 3 to 3. Excellent. So now what kind of math did we do along these lines? Multiply
3 times 4.
3 times 4 is 12. And then what do we do for these 2?
3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8.
You add it together and you get
17.
17/12. Is that your final answer?
No.
What do we call this? Improper fraction. How do we make it proper?
You see how many times 17 will go into 12, which is 1.
Flip it around. How many times? There you go.
12 will go into.
Yeah. So divide this. You can go out here and do this kind of math. How many times does 12 go into 17?
1.
1. So you bring your 12 down. And then what's the next and final step?
You gotta make it a fraction. Make it to 5/12.
5/12. How do you do that? Where does this go?
Above. That's your number.
Right here. And then where would your 12 go?
Triple
Under
denominator.
the 5.
Under the 5. Excellent. So this would equal 1 and what?
5/12.
5/12. Perfect. How would you all solve this for LCM? Kind of like what it's basically kind of like we did last one.
You multiply 3 times 4 and 4 times 3,
3 times 4 and 4 times 3.
which is 12.
And what's the next step?
And then you multiply 4 times 2 and 3 times 3.
Up and up, and then that is 8 plus what?
9.
9. You get 17,
12.
and you can do that math again. Perfect. Great job. Great job. All right. So for this last one. Let's use LCM first. How about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. LCM.
You do 7 times 3.
Or times. And then come over here.
Oh, the card
Yeah, if you bring this number over here and multiply it, you have to do the same thing for this number and bring it over here, right?
Yeah.
There you go. And that will give you,
21.
all right, and then what's the next steps that we take?
You would multiply 3 times 3 and then multiply 7.
3 times 3, we're at this 3 and this 3.
Yeah.
And then which number here?
7 times 4
Times
is
4.
7.
Good. And then 9 plus 7 is?
16.
16. Good, Bill. All right, and that's your final answer for that one. And if we were to use the TP method, I'll do this part for you. Where's the next lines go?
7 times 1.
7. 7 to the 1 and
3 to 3.
3 to the 3. What's the next thing we do? Multiply 7 and 3 to get
21.
21. And then what do we do with the crisscrosses?
Oh,
Go ahead.
3 times 3 is 9, and then 7 times 1 is 7, and then you add them.
And 9 plus 7 is?
16.
16. Same answer. Great job. The TP method was the most popular one out of your all's math minutes, but either one would work. Now, we're gonna go into a little group activity, and you all should have assigned groups. So if you don't mind, go ahead and get in those groups real quick. You six a group. Alright, you should have different shaped looking papers on your desk. If you don't mind, separate those by size of the papers. So kind of group them into what size you think they are.
Cheyenne, you get with this group. Holly, you get with Brianna's group.
Alright, kind of separate them out on the table according to groups. Okay? Alright, once you've done that, you should have one big circle, two half circles, four triangle looking circles, and then 8 scattered little pieces of paper. Okay? So what I want you to do now is grab a coloring pencil and we're gonna draw these kind of like a fraction, okay? So I'll draw these on the board for y'all. With one coloring pencil, the big giant circle is going to equal 1 because it's a whole circle, okay? So just write the number 1 in the middle, and then if you want to doodle around it, you can. I need these people to get this one. Kennedy, Kaylee, Dakota, Ryder, Shay, and Devin. You all are in charge of the circle, okay? So y'all get the circle, and you draw the number 1 in the middle, and just doodle around, okay? So listen, and for the next one, you should have 2 of these little looking things, half circles, okay? In the middle of this one, because it's a half circle, we're going to put 1/2 in the middle of it, okay? You all can choose whoever gets those 2. Yes. And then for the next one, there should be, this one there's 1, this one there's 2. There should be 4 of these. Since there's 4 of these, we're going to do 1/4 in the middle with a coloring pencil. And you're going to color around that, okay? And then for these itty bitty triangles, we're going to make these 1/8, okay? Each one of these says 1/2 or 1/4. Don't write 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, or 4/4, okay? Each one is yeah, like that. Good job. And this one you should have 8. For the 1/8, I need Mason, Will, and Grace to have these in your groups. Good deal. If you're in a group of 5, split the responsibilities with the 1/8. So half 1/8 and half another 1/8. So you should have. Yeah, you just write 1/8 in the middle of it.
They just do that for everyone. Yeah.
All right, now, for the next part, we're going to be using this board up here, okay, to my left. So if you have to turn around a little bit, that's okay. We're going to do a little conversions with the papers, okay? So for your first one, we're going to do 1/4. So if you're in charge of the 1/4, raise it up right now. 1/4. All right, and now we're going to see how many 8ths it takes to get to 1/4. So we're actually going to be we're going to be practicing simplifying for this part. So if you have the 8ths, raise up your hand. Good deal. All right, now the 4th and the 8ths kind of work together right here, okay? How many 8ths, and if you need to, you can put the 8ths on the 4th to see how much it can cover it up. Okay, this is kind of like a kind of cheap system here. So how many 8ths would it take to cover 1/4? 2 8ths, perfect. All right, next one. Where's my 1/2s at? And where's my 4ths at? All right, so now we're going to see how many 4ths does it take to cover a half. And if you need help with it, you can use as many 4ths as you need to cover up the half to see how many it would take, or you can make a shape. Good deal. You are doing great today. All right, so anybody that's in the halves or 4ths, raise your hand if you want to answer. How many 4ths does it take to get to a half?
2/4.
2/4. Good deal. All right, for the next one. Who has the 1 circle? Raise it up. All right, how many of the half circles would it take? And this is just for the ones with the 1. Hold up. How many half circles would it take to cover you up? 2. Good deal. Good job. All right, next one. Where's my halves and 8ths at? Raise them up. Halves and 8ths. All right, now you are going to figure out how many 8ths are in a half. So work together.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Tell me those. Hey, drop beside you.
All right, so for the 8ths, Zoe, what'd you get?
He's younger than
4
me.
8ths.
Yeah, your hand on my work. I mean, yeah, he needs 8s.
All right, the next one. 1 equals how many 4ths? So if you have the 1, compare it with the 4th and see how many you get. you think you have the answer. 4 what? 4/4. And then for this last one, 1 equals how many eighths? Go ahead and make it on your little.
I mean, I'm not.
All right, Jalen, how many eighths are in 1?
8.
8 eighths. Perfect. You all killed that activity. For the next part, we're gonna be looking over here. One of the most important things about math is make sure we communicate with each other correctly, right? Because if you don't say something right, then the whole answer could be wrong. So, for example, how would you all read this number? 3 and 2.
10.
Tenths. 3. You want to come write it out? Yeah, the words 3 and 2 tenths. Anybody want to? So you tell him what to write, and then you write it down, all right? The answer you just gave.
3 and 2 tenths. Is that right? Okay.
Good job. Good job. Now, if I were to write down this number, 9,700. So who would like to write this on the board?
I will.
So, how would it sound?
9 and 36.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. Huge round of applause. Alright, what was the main word we used for that decimal? We would say and. Very important, especially when we do fractions. Mixed fractions at that. So if I were to write this number, how would you say it? 1 and 3/4. Perfect. The reason you don't say 1 3/4 is because you say 1 3/4, that kind of sounds like this number, right? 1 3 and 4. So it's important that we look at the word, or make sure we discipline ourselves to space this out and say 1 and 3/4. So for example, how would this one sound?
17,
32 and.
that's it, 32.
Okay, good. Try it again.
32 and 17,
20. Yeah. All right, so for this next example, we're going to be using a lot more of those papers, okay? So you have to work together really good on these. All right, so here's what I want you to do. So for this first one, I want you to show me 1 and 1/4 on your table. Absolutely. There you go. So, all right, so we'll start with this group. What did you all get? 1 and 1/4, right? Good job. What did you all do over here? That's kind of interesting.
So we did both halves, so that makes a whole.
Perfect.
And we added a fourth to it.
Absolutely right. 1/2 plus 1/2 is a whole, and then they added another fourth to it. That's a different way of thinking. Excellent. All right, so this next one, I want to see 2 and 3/4.
We need to get the fourths.
So what's the
When we go, and just add the 3/4.
Excellent. Awesome.
We gotta be professional. Let's go.
2 and 3/4. All right, so how did you all use 2 and 3/4?
one whole, 2 halves, and 1/3.
Perfect. Anybody do it a different way?
No.
What's another way? What's another way we could do it?
Well, I did 1/2, and a whole, and 3/4.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Oh.
You did that, you put it in different order, so it was a little different.
6/8. You could do 8/8, 2 halves, and then 3/4.
Yeah, that's another way. Excellent. What'd you say?
1 whole, 2 halves, and 6/8.
What does 6/8 reduce to?
3/4.
3/4. Perfect. All right, so this last one, I want to see 3 and 7/8.
3. We gotta do this. 3. That's 4 eighths. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we need 3 eighths. Now put that in. He said 7/8. No, it said 7. Here's the other one.
I don't want them back there.
We did our thing.
All right. So Ryder, what all did you use?
I used 1 whole, 2 1/2, 3 1/4, and 7 1/8.
How many 1/4?
4.
4. There you go. Perfect. Good job. You all did excellent. Hopefully this is practiced. What'd you use? And how many eighths? 7/8. Perfect. All right. So on your all's little worksheet that you all are going to get some problems that kind of look like this. So it was 2 and 1/4 plus 3 and 1/4. Oops. 3 and 1/4. What I want you all to do is write down how many holes it is underneath it. So if there's 2, you write 2 circles, kind of like what you have on your desk right now. So 2 circles, and then a 4th. I want you to draw another circle, and I want you to break open the 4th. And if you need help, look at where your lines break on your 4ths right now. Go ahead and look. You see how they go straight down the middle and then straight across? If you need help drawing, you can refer back to that. So I want you to draw a 4th. How many 4ths will I need to cover out of 4?
1.
1. So I want you to cover a 4th of that. And then for 3/4, 3 and 1/4, I want you to draw 3 circles. And then how many would you fill in for 1/4? 1. So I want you to fill in another one. And then if you were to answer this, what would be the final answer? Y'all think? Yes. 5 and 2/4. And then, is that your final answer?
No.
5 and 1/2. Perfect. Now, to do that, when you get your final answer, I want you to bring all these over. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, since you have 2/4, so if you draw your fourths, you've got 2 of them covered. Isn't that basically half of them, right? So your answer, so to check your answer, you can bring these over and to see if you still get 5 1/2. Okay. So that is how we're going to do the worksheet. So if y'all don't mind, real quick, well, now we can do some groups. We'll just do some groups so y'all can see the numbers better. Do you all have your little worksheet documents? Yes. All right, keep your circles and stuff intact so you can see how many you can draw. At the bottom of the page 34. So if you need help.
Do we have to do this on each of the problems?
Yes. So you might not want to make your circles that big. All right, bottom on page 34. Is everybody there? So page 34. Somebody read off number 1 to me.
3 and 1/4 plus
3 and 1/4.
plus 2 and 2/4.
2 and 2/4. So how many circles do I have to draw for this one? 3 circles? Tell you what, somebody else, who wants to come up here and draw? I got to start it for you. Finish it up.
Did I give my sheet to you yesterday? What do y'all think? You think it's 5 and 3/4?
Yeah.
Thanks, good job. So that's what you're gonna do for all 12 of those problems. Now on some of them, you'll have to watch out because I'll help you on let's get down to number 9. So for number 9, what's the problem read as?
7 and 2 knots plus 1 and 5 knots.
Plus what?
1 and 5 knots.
Oh, never mind. Wrong one. Let's do number 11. Sorry. Number 11.
2 and 5/7.
2 and 5/7 plus
3 and 6/7.
3 and 6/7. Who would like to come draw this one up here? Now watch carefully how he does it. So yeah, just try the best you can. And then just keep connecting dots to the end. 5, and then draw the one that way. And then draw one more somewhere. There you go. So whatever the denominator is, that's how many times you got to shape, or that's how many lines you have to draw inside that circle. So working on a little shaping skills here.
We should do the answers in circles too.
Do the answers in circles so you can check yourself, make sure you added it correctly.
Yeah, you just get 8 and then you make one a little bit bigger and you start chopping it. Just put them out to the side. Good job. All right. So he skipped a step because he saw what was going on. But if I'm going to erase this one real quick. This is what some of you all were getting stuck at. You all had a full one right here and here, and you had a full one and didn't know where to go. How much, if we reduce 7, how many sevenths make 1? How many, if this was 7, if this was 1/7, how many times, how many would it take to get to 1? 7. So we have all 7 full, right? So 7 of those would equal 1 whole. You did a good job on answering that. Good job. And then his final answer was 6 and 6. 6 and 4/7. Excellent job. All right, so for the remainder of class, you all do the rest of your worksheet and fill in all the circles. Some of those that have really big circles, like number 12, it's 7 plus 8. Those are whole numbers. You got really small circles, okay? If y'all need any help, raise your hand. I will come around. Need help? Are you? I'm on number 5.
So you have 3 holes. You added another 4. 3/4, right? So you got 3/4 right. And then all you have to do is bring your circles over. You know that? You understand that now? If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask.
if your answer can be reduced when you write the number out, please do reduce that so it can be in the simplest form. All right, class is almost over, but I need you all to do a little self-evaluation of yourself. I'm going to pass these out real quick. There's 4 answers, but there's no wrong answer. It's just how confident you are in this lesson. So there's 4 options. I understand today's lesson fully and can teach it. I understand the lesson, but need to practice a little bit more. I understand some of the lesson, but not all of it, or I didn't understand the lesson at all. And you don't have to put your name on it, so you can circle and be truthful about it. And then when you're done, you can just, as you all leave, you all can leave it on the desks. Yeah, y'all can go ahead and move your desks back whenever you get it. But I do need these back from each one of you. Just leave it on Ms. Shaw's desk as you